Can you come to me? I'm waiting.
Can we please have all of the candidates come to the front, please? Of them on the island. But first, can we please welcome all of the candidates for spending time today? Great, thank you.
Plan. We are building a fighting fund, and please, the members of the committee are around here in the fluoro jackets. Please speak to any one of them. We'd love you all to join the Residents Association to give us a fighting fund, because we are going to take council to court. A city plan is a business plan. And I'm sure all of you out there that run and own your own business like I do, if my business plan was 536 pages, I would have gone out of business a long time ago. It is ridiculous. But I do want to quote something which is totally contradictory to what the developers and council want to do. And it's in section 3. It's such a boring read, don't do it, I did it. It's in section 3 of the town plan, and I quote word for word: "The Gold Coast cannot build its way out of congestion. We simply do not have the room to accommodate the increase in road use over the next 10 to 20 years. A world-class city, and that's what the Gold Coast wants to become, will need to have an efficient transport system that reduces congestion. So let's build these. Let's not worry about traffic. Let's not worry about density. Let's not worry about 900 people living in 32 apartments and do nothing about the roads. It is in their town plan and they're doing nothing about it. So I'm putting it on to these candidates, both Mayoral and Division 7. You hear what we say. What are you going to do for us? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kim. Now, we do have a selection of all, well, we have all of the Division 7 candidates here, and we also have several mayoral candidates. Each of them will get a maximum of 5 minutes.
Can I ask all the candidates, who here standing before these people have taken developer donations before or during this campaign? Can they please make themselves known to the community that they take money from developers and then they go into Evandale and make decisions on those developments? Can you please come forward and present yourself?
Good on you, Luke. Well done, and I like what you're up about, mate. I personally have had fundraisers, which I've had developers too, but that's all. I don't take any money from anybody. Okay?
I'm clean with your developer donations.
Jim Wilson, solicitor. I've already explained to you my position. I have never accepted developer donations, and I never intend to. Now, let me...
From property developers. My husband and I are financing this out of our mortgage, and we're doing that because we just thought this was so important that there be people who stand up where you know that they are clean. I am your clean candidate.
To date, on this campaign, anything in the past is on my register, so I can't even go.
I said very early that I would accept no money from developers, and I'm going to maintain that because it is a conflict. And this thing about I have a conflict of interest but I'm going to vote anyway, it just really destroys public confidence. And I also include in that not just donations, but buying a ticket to a fundraiser. That's included. To me, that's a donation. Giving, you know, space, services in kind, all that type of thing. I'll accept none of those. If a developer wants to talk to me, they can, but it will cost them nothing and I'll owe them nothing.
Are against the Sunland development on the spit?
David, it's a good question, and I'm sure everyone wants to know. But legally, council candidates and councillors who want to become councillors can't have an opinion one way or the other, or they will be told they can't vote on it. So those people who come out strongly for or strongly against may be told that their vote won't count. So in that sense, you know, the conditions on the traffic and all of those things can be discussed, but we can't talk about actual, if we approve a development like that.
Okay, well, first of all, if that was true, Susie would not be able to vote because she, with the Main Beach Progress Association, endorsed the Sunland project. However, it's nonsense. Yes, once you're a councillor, you have to look at things in an independent manner. Tom Tate is standing up on a mandate of putting in the cruise ship terminal. Does that mean he won't vote on the cruise ship terminal? This is what democracy looks like. You stand up for what the culture and the values are of your residents. You put your hand up and you say, this is what I'm committed to, and then you go in and you act on that behalf.
You heard me say earlier that I led the charge to stop the cruise ship terminal on public land. You've heard my position, the 3 or 4 tenets that I believe are immutable in this city in terms of not destroying livability, amenity, creating traffic congestion, etc., etc. I'm quite proud to say that I'm totally anti 44, 50, 60-storey developments on things that were nominated for 3 stories that are going to impact upon public land, state government-owned land, and public amenity and enjoyment of our city.
Now, the issue of the high-rise buildings, I think that needs to be dealt with, and it's not going to change because it's now law, state law. So if you think that it's going to change, the next time they review the town plan, which might be in 5 years' time, we might be able to change it. But we have to make the best of what's there. Now,
I think I stand, but today before you, I'm going to make my point. So the first one is I do not support development at any cost, and I can see this happening on Chevron Island. It is a beautiful island that you know, we've all experienced with our families, and you know, to see so much development happening without the infrastructure behind it is going to kill. It's going to kill you here. The village atmosphere will go. The current infrastructure needs to be addressed, and very urgently. You know, I drive by here and it's bumper to bumper from one end of the bridge to the other. You can't even get onto the bridge at some days. So, and there's a lot of rat runs. I never knew what a rat run was until I've experienced it recently. And the beautiful streets of Stanhill Drive and the other streets as well, they're all becoming chock-a-block. You just can't move. Not only peak time, it used to be just peak time during school traffic, but it's all day now, and we need to address that. The bottlenecks are just not any good.
It is Chevron Island, however, and they continue to accept development of high-rises without any traffic assessments, even though this is actually in breach of the plan. To demand more from our developers, and council needs to remind developers that shaping our city is a privilege and not a right.
Bill and I played a rugby grand final against each other, and we were supposed to flog them by 30 points, and he beat us by probably just about the same, so just hold your ground there, mate. Good afternoon, or good morning. Ladies and gentlemen of Cronin and Chevron Islands, thank you very, very much for inviting me here today, and it's a great pleasure to address you all. Can I just say that I have a very, even though I live at Tallebudgera and I love the greenery and the environment there, I have a very special place in my heart for Chevron Island. We used to have a lot of university parties here in the 70s, and the day my number didn't come out of the conscription bucket, we had a very, very big one in Stanhill Drive, I can assure you. I would just like to say to you and assure you all and assure the business people and everybody in this community, in this city, that I'm pro-development. There's no question about that. But I'm pro-development that's sustainable, that doesn't require contributions, sales or an extra of public places and spaces to enable development to occur, and which enhances the quality of the lifestyle of ourselves and our children's children in every sense. I'd also like to say something to the tradies and the builders in this community and this city. We are selling them short if we think that they're satisfied with developments which offend the three principles that I just laid down. They live here too, and they have families, and they have families and friends, and they're relying upon our council governance and leadership to show the way so that they can have sustainable jobs and jobs that suit them from their own personal values, their ethics and their morals. And that's not being done it hasn't been done in recent years, and it's not going to be done under the new city plan.
Developers. This is against the long-term planning, security and amenity of city residents, you, the ratepayers. The town plan, as it is administered and controlled by town councils, town planners and the mayor and his chief of staff and the city council CEO, leaves open questions of possible bias through corruption. This is not simply not acceptable. I can take you back to 2000.
Now, last speaker is Penny Toland, who is in fact a mayoral candidate. Could you please welcome Penny?
That was my fear, falling backwards into the garden in front of such a big crowd. So I win. Excellent. I just want to start, and I do this wherever I go, is to just pay my respects to the traditional owners on the land in which we meet, and pay my respect to elders past, present and future. So my name is Penny Toland, and I am a mayoral candidate. And I'm going to be honest with you, and people laugh, they say politicians. Honesty is not really their forte, but I'm going to tell you, I'm angry. Really, really angry. I've spent my whole life on the Gold Coast. I went to Musgrave Primary, Helensvale High, and I'm approaching my 20-year anniversary at Gold Coast Hospital. And I personally feel hijacked by the current planning regime that's going on. I support reviewing the city plan to make sure, and I see the petition here going back to the local area plan, or the LAP, which gives you 8 to 10 story limit. But I'm also a realist, and a lot of these recent developments that have gone through approval around the coast, especially here in Chevron and Surfers Paradise, were approved under that LAP. Around in a development application to get it over the line. It's the developer's job to put something forward that's within the plan. Thank you. Not the council officer. So I will make it very, very clear that they should be adhering to the plan, and if we go back to local area plan, half of these developments, if they were actually done in consideration of what's actually in the local area plan, wouldn't have had a chance of getting up. And I wonder why that is. And so the message will be very clear that you're to listen to the community. If it says 8 to 10 stories, it means 8 to 10 stories. Because the thing I love about the Gold Coast, we're a series of interconnected communities. And that's about balance. We do not want, well, I certainly don't want, high rises from Yatala straight through to Coolangatta. Definitely not. So come 19th of March, I hope you sort of give me a go. Thank you.